Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. This video is going to be 100% dedicated to XRP. In fact, I've got commentary and analysis from 15 very talented chart analysts. Again, all about XRP, the very latest. And what you're going to see is a recurring theme. A broad agreement about what level must be breached in order for us to see the next major move up. So we're talking about getting above $4. You'll see what short-term targets they broadly agree are going to get hit. And you're also going to see that the ones that speak about it anyway continue to insist that what's most probable is that by the end of the cycle, you're going to see XRP peak into double-digit territory. And so some analysts think that might mean just 10 or 11 bucks, but some think it's going to be more to $20 to $30. And I don't pretend to know who's going to be right, but none of that is crazy. I do know that. I've seen enough in crypto to know these types of things are absolutely possible. And considering that XRP has been artificially suppressed for like half of a decade at this point, and it's finally breaking free, yeah, I absolutely buy that such things are possible. Absolutely, I do. The war on crypto is over. XRP is legal clarity. It has stronger fundamentals than ever before, and we're at the point where a crazy boatload of retail speculators are about to plow in if history rhymes with itself. And you can already see the beginning phases of this. There's too much confluence here for this to not be the most probable outcome. It's coming, folks. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, as I record this video, it is 7:15 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. XRP is $3.53. Yes, this is real life. And I never get tired of seeing this as somebody that's been here for a long time. And I know many of you have been here for years and years and years right along with me. We've been in the trenches, folks. We've been through some things together, right? It's just wild to see that this is actually real life. And it's just floating here effortlessly. I mean, it's slightly volatile, but man, it's been holding above that $3.40 support, which was previous all-time high from earlier this year. I know it technically dipped below that, but it's just a short deviation. If you're talking about closes, including daily closes, it's been safely closing above. So that shows incredible strength. It's what we always hoped and believed could happen, in a world where XRP is competing on a level playing field. Yeah. Now reality is catching up with this. And you got Bitcoin at $119,839 earlier today. It did breach $120,000. So look, it's just a matter of time. We really, given the stage we're in the cycle, we're not going to have to wait long for things to start getting crazy here. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto, and this is from this afternoon, 1:21 p.m. Central Time. He says, XRP closing above $3.65 is key. Okay, and I keep seeing that range or close to it being cited by tons of analysts, so keep watching for that. And 365, that is the all-time high for XRP. And in the short term here, you can see he's expecting that if this thing starts going, you're talking about getting up to some very, very attractive levels here. He cites a fib level here where XRP would be at $5.37 going higher. You can see XRP at $16.48. Another level up here, $23.64. And again, I'll say again, I don't pretend to know where this is going to peak. It's, my shtick is not doing price predictions, but I firmly believe that anything in there is safely within the realm of possibility, at least. Because again, this stuff does happen in crypto. It's not like it can't happen to XRP and it can happen to every other coin. No, because when FOMO starts going, it's not even about the fundamentals at that point. So yes, the fundamentals have kept XRP in the top 10 coins by market cap for its entire existence, which is rare because that's only the case with Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. There are no other coins for which that is true. So despite fundamentals mattering for that reason, I'm just telling you, when the market gets going, it has nothing to do with fundamentals. It's pure euphoria. Green candles come in, people get FOMO, they're all throwing money at the thing that they hadn't heard of until like the previous day. Like, that's the type of stuff that happens, and I'm here for it. I know humans are going to keep behaving like that. I'm counting on it. They're going to keep pushing the price up, and then when it's attractive enough to me, I'm going to start selling my XRP. That's the deal. That's a part of the strategy. It's coming, folks. So don't have a defeatist attitude that it can happen to other coins but not XRP. No. It's absolutely possible to happen with XRP, and if you're not convinced of that based on what's happened to this point, I don't even know how to help you at this point. XRP sitting above $3.50. I hope you guys aren't worrying at this point. It's so obvious we picked a winner, and now we're getting ours. Obviously we are. Here's a post from this morning from chart analyst CW. He says XRP has formed a sell wall around $3.60. Now it is a sandwich state between buy wall and sell wall. And you can see the buy wall below here at about $3.40. And up here, he's saying that there's been some instances of people popping up here with sell orders closer to where the all-time high is. So if indeed that is the case, you got a little bit to cut through here, but we've already tapped it a few times here, and that it weakens every time you tap it. I will not be surprised to see it go sooner rather than later. And then he shared this follow-up post just this afternoon at 1:09 p.m. Central Time, and he said, if the sell wall breaks at $3.63, that's what he cited it is, the rally will resume. So we're not far off from that. Just sit tight. It's gonna come, folks. There's too much money flowing into this space for it to not happen. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Crypto Wizard. This is from last night. He says, XRP Daily Technical Outlook. XRP closed strongly bullish as anticipated. A further upside rally is very likely. And then he cited a key level of $3.65, which, again, I keep seeing cited from tons of different chart analysts. And the reason this is important is the more analysts I see saying the same or similar thing, the more likely it is that whatever they think is likely to happen actually is. Or in this case, citing a key level, if they're agreeing that it's a key level, then they're almost certainly correct. I'm telling you, when there's that many talented analysts all saying about the same thing, yeah, history tells me that they're right. Sometimes the improbable happens, but not usually. Not usually at all. That's exceedingly rare, actually. Here's a post from Crypto Insight UK. It's from this afternoon at 12:10 p.m. He says, XRP forming a cup and saucer pattern on the hourly. Important to note, after rejecting $3.65 the second time, XRP still continues to create higher lows currently. I would say this pattern is a continuation pattern and more likely to break out / continue than break down. And so that's in line with what I see from every analyst that opines on the matter. Yes, that is correct. We're trending in the right direction. XRP has incredible strength. So, if XRP is going to take a dive at this point, it's going to be led by Bitcoin. That seems like a virtual certainty. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Zoom. He says, XRP won't be below $4 for too long. And I don't see anybody disputing that. I'm happy to share divergent perspectives. I'm happy to share the negative sounding ones. I can't find them. I've shared them many times over the years on my channel. I can't find them right now. Either they don't exist or they're so rare I literally just can't find them. Nobody's willing to put their neck on the line at this point because of the degree to which XRP has been showing strength ever since the election, frankly. You'll love to see it. So yeah, doesn't it seem like a virtual certainty that XRP in the short term is going to pop above $4? Like, do we all agree that that's absolutely the most probable thing here? I mean, you'd have to have a breakdown of the entire crypto market for that to not happen at this point, but there's nothing to be concerned about with XRP specifically, I'll say that. Here's a post from chart analyst XR Punky. This is from last night, 9:23 p.m. Central. It says XRP potentially forming a cup and handle pattern. $4 is our next stop. And so there you go, yet another analyst here saying about the same thing. That matters. I'm telling you, when this many analysts say about the same thing, they're probably right. It's not like they all know each other just because I choose to follow them. I mean, I'm sure some of them know each other, but that's not what's going on here. It is exceedingly rare for this group of analysts that I follow to almost all of them to be parodying the same stuff. That doesn't happen except for at crucial moments, like now. Here's a post from Credible Crypto. This is from yesterday. He says, patiently waiting for XRP to hit $4 so I can retweet a certain special tweet. And I know what he's referencing here. And first of all, I'll mention yet another analyst. He's one of the best in the business so far as I'm concerned. He's one of the best analysts out there. And he's not doubting if XRP is going to hit $4. He's just waiting for it to happen. And that's pretty much where I'm at, to be honest with you. I think it's a virtual certainty at this point that it's going to happen, and sooner rather than later here. And as far as what he's talking about retweeting, he talked about this like last year, I guess it was, and I just remember it. He shared a gif of Leonardo DiCaprio from the movie, the Gatsby movie, It's everybody's seen this GIF. It's where he's I think fireworks in the background. He's raising a glass, might be a champagne glass, I can't remember. Some adult beverage though, and he just raises up and the camera zooms in. Everybody's seen that GIF. And so he said that every time XRP hits a new dollar, so 3, 4, 5, every time that happens, he's just going to repost it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that lots of time in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. Here's an article from chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay. He's writing for Cointelegraph here. And I'm not going to read the whole thing on your screen here. Not that it's that long even, but he was citing here, if XRP breaks $3.66, so that'd be 1 cent above the all-time high, he says that may cause the pair to surge to $4 and a target objective right after that of $4.86. So slight difference. He didn't say 365, he said 366. We're splitting hairs here. Doesn't matter. He believes that yes, we're if you're going to see this resume to the upside, that is the target. I keep seeing that. And then he warned of a potential breakdown area. Not that he even thinks that's the more likely thing, but he did cite, okay, if you fall below 340, which is the previous all-time high, okay, then it could have been a bull trap. But I ain't counting on that, let's say. Of course, again, if Bitcoin breaks down, the whole market goes, XRP goes, fine, that stuff can happen. But even then, it would be short-lived. That wouldn't structurally break anything. That wouldn't change anything. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender. It says XRP targets $5.85. He knows that's coming sooner than later. And also $9.76 as the next Fibonacci levels. And then he cites support at $3.39 and also $3.52, which is about where we're floating right now. Says, we already warmed up and are ready for the next leg up. And he posted that just this afternoon, 1:33 p.m. Central. So, again, they're all agreeing. Doesn't normally happen. It really jumps out at me when they all agree like this. They're almost certainly correct. Here's a post from Paul Barron. He runs a very popular YouTube channel. And he covers crypto, but other stuff, technology related, and markets. He's got like over 1.5 million subscribers on his channel. Very popular channel. And here's what he had to say about XRP just this afternoon at 2:15 p.m. Central. And he's talking about MSI, by the way, which is a market sentiment indicator. And he says, XRP market sentiment surge. This is why this plus 3.6 MSI jump matters. Yesterday's MSI all-time high isn't just numbers. It's validation of fundamental shifts happening in the XRP ecosystem. Technical backdrop. New all-time high at $3.61 July 18th. Okay, and I got to pause to say, I don't know where he's pulling that figure from. I saw with my own eyes that XRP was at $3.65, and other analysts acknowledge that is the all-time high. So I'm not sure where he pulled that from, but it is true that you'll see different local highs on various exchanges. So he could have just pulled it from an exchange maybe that didn't go quite as high. I don't know for sure, but I dispute that respectfully. It is $3.65. That's the all-time high currently. Not that it matters that much, just thought I'd mention it. Then he says, whale accumulation at $3.34 support. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So the largest holders, which means the richest people who are more savvy, and that's why they continue to maintain wealth, they were purchasing XRP at $3.34. So he thinks it's a support level now. Do you think the whales are getting wrong-footed here? I'm thinking probably not. Then he says 20% plus weekly gain sustained, breaking 6-month triangle pattern. And then he talks about institutional catalysts, and this is a fun one. Check this out. ProShares XRP Futures ETF filed, 95% ETF approval odds. Bloomberg House passes 3 crypto bills. And so think about that. XRP is as high as it is, and some of these things from a fundamental perspective have yet to kick in, and we're already this high in price. Can you imagine? And so he says smart money is positioning for the next leg up to $4.50 to $6 targets. There you go. Another guy here, $4.50 to $6 targets, and he's not saying that's the top. He's talking about the next notable move. That does not sound remotely crazy. You have witnessed in recent days firsthand how quickly XRP can move. I mean, in very short order, it went up by an entire dollar. Which is like a few times higher than what XRP has been worth for most of the last 7.5 years, almost 8 years that I've been holding it. So that's amazing. That's the type of movement I always believed was possible, but it's now happening. Get ready for more of it. It ain't done, folks. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. He says, XRP breakout and MACD bullish cross. Same setup, Targets are $5 to $8, and he thinks that's coming sooner than later. Now, he does have the most conservative price expectation out of any analyst I follow. He thinks it's likely XRP will peak on the high end at $8. And if he's right, I'll give him credit, and I'll also be disappointed for everyone because we're all expecting it to go higher than that. You know, like I said before, you're going to have a broad range of expectations and price predictions from a broad array of analysts. And so the truth is usually not at the extremes. It's usually not at the lower end. It's also usually not at the higher end. It's somewhere in between. And maybe it is closer to the lower end. Maybe it's closer to the higher end. I don't know. We're going to find out. But it's probably somewhere in between. Maybe that does mean, you know, $10 or $15 or maybe closer to $20. I don't know. But I'm skeptical that it's going to actually peak in the $5 to $8 range, but I admit I don't know. This is why I don't make price predictions. Like, I straight up don't know. I'm here having fun. I like having skin in the game. It's fun. It's life-changing. So that's enough for me here. But I know that these types of ranges are not Fantasyland stuff. Then we have a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. It says, XRP has broken out of a bullish flag, setting its sights on $15. Zoom out on the weekly chart and you'll spot it. And so he's looking at the double-digit price action. I will not be surprised if this happens. I really won't. Here's Chart Analyst X-Force Global. This is just from this morning. XRP's journey is far from over. The blueprint was created ever since we broke out of the triangle, including the current 1-2 pullback. Now comes the acceptance phase. This is where the bears convert from skeptics to believers. Liquidity won't just flow, it'll pour. Okay, that's true. That is historically true. That happens with every coin that starts going, oh my God, the liquidity. The amount of money flowing in. Like, that's what's going to happen. I just don't doubt it. Just don't doubt. People chase green candles, and liquidity begets liquidity, as Chris Larson once said well over a decade ago at this point, probably. You know, one of the founders of Ripple. Just a matter of time. And by the way, this chart's pointing upwards of $23. Not crazy. Definitely not crazy. Incredible Crypto, he's one of the guys, and he, again, reputable analyst, been around for a long time, high accuracy rating. He fully believes, Incredible Crypto fully believes that we're going to peak, XRP is going to peak between 20 to $30. I hope he's right. It could be. Here's a post from chart analyst Casey Trades, XRP USD chart on your screen here. And this was posted just this afternoon, 1:39 p.m. Central Time. So you can see there's a lot of discussion about XRP from analysts consistently. It's actually challenging to keep up with. And I'm not complaining. I'm just noting the state of things. But that's because there's so much excitement around this, and for good reason, of course. So anyway, here's what she had to say. Not boring, bullish. My take on XRP's quiet strength. XRP has now been ranging for over 4 days between $3.60 resistance and $3.40 support. And honestly, I'm loving this price action. We're seeing consistent respect of the trend line, which used to be resistance and is now acting as support. That's a classic bullish flip. And the fact that buyers step in every drop, bulls are still in control. Just now, we got a third touch of that trend line, and price is starting to creep higher again. It's subtle, but momentum is quietly building just under resistance. Relative Strength Index also has plenty of room, which tells me there's still fuel for another breakout attempt. In technical analysis, retracement levels remain valid until a new high is made. Since we still haven't taken out that $3.66 high, we've got to respect that $3.20 to $3.25 support zone as a possibility if $3.40 gives out. Right now, I'm leaning bullish. Holding trendline, holding fibs, consolidating under resistance, all signs of strength. And if we do start breaking out, the next major level is still, drumroll please, $4.65. So she means for the short term. She says the volatility above here gets wild and fast. So again, it's not like I'm cherry picking analysts to deliver some sort of narrative I want to drive. This is what's out there. This is what I'm finding. I can't find humans that don't think this is probable if they're charting XRP right now. I can't find it. Show me somebody who's not. I will happily highlight it on my channel. I can't find such a thing. I just can't find analysts that think that XRP is just not going to do well here. I can't find them. I swear on my life, I would absolutely highlight them. I enjoy doing that, actually. I've done it for years and years and years. I swear on my life, I can't find them. If you can bring them to me, I will happily show them on my channel and credit you. But I'm just saying that to highlight how rare such a perspective is. So suffice it to say, I think we're going way higher from here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.